So you want to get rich while you're still young, and the problem here is that you think that discipline might be the only answer because you consume a lot of these self-improvement guru videos and podcasts, and you listen to literal robots on a grind every day mentality. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of truth in being disciplined and working hard, but that only gets you so far. Monk mode, 75 hard, all of these things, people think that you have to be in this constant grind to get to where you want to go. When the truth is that you just need to be doing less instead of adding more onto your plate. Like, you think that having this 10 task calendar day is a productive day when you can't even focus on one thing at a time. Truthfully, you can't focus on one thing for an extended period of time without a notification going off on your phone, or you're scrolling, or you're doing things that actually don't matter. Like, having a 2 to 3 hour morning routine for you just to get prepared to do any type of work is just so counterintuitive, it makes zero sense. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, getting up and immediately checking your email and just grinding away from your bed is not the answer either. And I've been on either side, like, I get it. And what I can tell you is that you want to make a lot of money while you're young, you want to enjoy it, you want to have the freedom. Well, there's three main things that you have to take into consideration. The first I already mentioned. You need to do less, but do more of the right things. Now, over time, this will make you more disciplined, but you don't need to be getting up at 5 a.m., going for a run, coming back, taking a cold shower, meditating, journaling, singing, or whatever it is you do to hype yourself up for the day. Like, I don't know what you do, but I know that if you feel stuck and you feel unmotivated and you feel like nothing's changing, it's because you're not doing the things that are actually going to change your life. Now, yes, is getting up earlier an advantage? For sure. Yeah, you can get up earlier. It doesn't have to be 5 a.m., but you can get up 15 minutes earlier than you did the night before, and then 15 minutes earlier the night before that. And you slowly, as an increment, work your way back. This actually works into my second point I'm about to say, which is, if you want to change and you want to change your life, you need to fix one habit at a time. See, your mind is a one-track mind, right? It goes from point A to point B. You trying to completely, like, cold turkey change absolutely everything overnight isn't that realistic. Is it possible? Yes. Is it realistic? Probably not. Especially if you have addictions to things that just take up a ton of your time, like video games, partying, drinking a lot, whatever you're doing that isn't productive towards you getting rich. It's taking up your time. And you need to change one thing at a time. But here's the caveat, is that to change a habit, you need to replace it with a new habit, or else you have just an open loop in your mind that isn't being fulfilled by your literal circuitry in your brain and how you operate. So if you want to get rid of a bad habit like sleeping in till 11 or 12 in the day, and you want to get your ass up earlier, well, then you slowly start to change the time that you go to bed and the time that you wake up. Not by hours, but try by minutes. That's the first thing. And this goes for anything in your life. And over the time, you will start to see your life starts to improve. The quality of your sleep, the quality of your life, your energy levels. You feel more motivated to go ahead and go after the task in the business or what have you to get what you want. Now, the third thing is, like, you need to be taking action. But the problem here is that you think that discipline is just taking the perfect action. It means, like, I need to be disciplined first and then I can take the action. Well, that's counterintuitive to the way that you should be thinking. What you want to be doing, ideally, and this is what I found to be helpful, is just taking imperfect action. I'm sure you've heard that before, but what does that actually mean? Like, what does imperfect action mean? The thing here is, like, if I'm going to start reaching out to prospects in order to grow my business, people think that they got to do all this research and join a course in order to just learn how to outreach people properly with the right scripts. But the problem is that everybody else is doing that. So you're getting lost in the weeds with everybody else instead of just thinking outside the box, instead of just trying different things on your own to see what sticks. You're experimenting quicker. and you're trying to reach out to people in ways that everybody else isn't doing. In the moment, it's imperfect action. You don't know if it actually works. You don't know if it's the right thing to be doing, but it is training the habit of doing the right thing, like I mentioned earlier, where you're not necessarily sitting on your hands waiting for a perfect moment when you've self-improved so much to when you can start taking action. That doesn't exist. That's not discipline. Discipline is knowing what you want, how to go after it, and then going after it. And when you have those three things, in turn, you will become more disciplined. But it's not needing discipline in the beginning. You need to take action. You need speed. You need imperfect action. You need failure. This is the other thing too, is people forget that failure is a prerequisite to get to where you want to go. I've mentioned this before in past videos. Like you absolutely need to fail to get to where you want to go. Some people just get the luck of the draw and they hit a good, successful business right out the gates, and that's awesome. But 99.9% of us out there, including myself, are not like that. We are not just gonna get it right out the gates. You need to fail and you need to learn. And that's gonna take many times, sometimes months, years, and that's just the game. But don't get this idea conflated that if I do monk mode, I'm gonna be so dialed in where I'm just grinding all the time and things are just gonna get better, I'm gonna be disciplined. No. It's a backwards way of thinking, right? You've been sold that you have to be in this constant grind from all this different type of media that you're consuming instead of actually doing the work. But it's the way that you approach it. Think about how lions hunt. Okay, lions hunt in sprints. They don't hunt constantly at every single point of the day. They are just grinding for 12 to 15 hours a day. Maybe at a certain stage, if they're starving and they need to try and find it, yeah, if the rent's due, you have no food, you need cash today, sure. But you're probably not in that position. You probably have some breathing room. And if you do, then you need to start working in sprints. Monk mode itself, this whole ideology that popped up, even 75 hard, for example, is supposed to be within 75 days and then you break. And then you can do it again for 75 and then you break and then again and again. But people just think that it's this constant grind, which leads to burnout. And again, because they're not doing the right things, you're not getting to where you want to go. And that's a problem. So again, what I propose to you to start thinking about is how you're approaching your day-to-day, how you're approaching your rags to riches story, right? Where instead of sitting there trying to add more tasks on your plate, thinking that that's the answer, it's what can I take away that isn't getting me to my ultimate goal? What can I take away that isn't giving me the most time and leverage that's going to get me to the riches that I desire? You need to be adding only maybe 5 maximum tasks, ideally 3 big key moving tasks on a daily basis that will get you the outcome that you desire, right? And you break that down and you only focus on those tasks, whether it be 3 to 4 hours per day of purely focused work, not 12 of being distracted on the wrong things, but 4. That's a third of the time that you're spending grinding to actually put towards something that is more productive. The next thing, again, is changing your habits. What are you doing on a daily basis? Audit your time. Is your time going towards the right things? Like I said, do you have habits that don't help your success because you're getting really crappy sleep, or you're doing things where it just, like, you're drinking or what have you, right? And I'm not saying you can never drink again, but if you're just partying like crazy and clearly your life is dedicated to that, well then you're obviously not in the right game. And then the third thing is making sure that you're taking imperfect action. The action that you're taking is just, like, it's happening. There is no questioning, there is no, I'm gonna wait till this, like, once I achieve this as this X amount of discipline, then I'm gonna be able to be ready and go do X, Y, Z. It doesn't work like that. Just do it now. Just do it now. This video I'm making, just do it now. That's what I tell myself. I'm like, I can't prolong me wanting to make this video thinking I need to be perfect. Just write a couple notes down on a laptop, open up the camera, film, get it done. Because it will reach somebody else who needs it now. So that's it. Like, discipline comes by doing the right things. It isn't, like, you don't need it to be perfect. You just need to do the thing that needs to be done, and more of the right thing that you know you should be doing, because the answer is up here. We just tend to avoid it as humans because either we're lazy or ignorant, and we choose to be that way. It isn't, I mean, sometimes you could be ignorant by not knowing the right information, but if you do know the right information and you're not doing it, well, then that's a problem, because now we're avoiding it and it's prolonging the timeline of us actually getting to the desired state that we want to be in, whether that be having more money, having more time, traveling more, whatever it is that you desire in this life. You're prolonging it by not doing the thing you know you should be doing. But that's it. I have more gems on my newsletter down in the description. You can join it for free, and you'll get some absolute insane gems on there because we're growing every week. And go ahead and join that community, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.